You guys know about Discord, right? It started off as this cozy little place where gamers could chat with each other while playing online games. But somewhere along the way, something changed. The Discord that millions of people signed up for years ago isn't the same Discord that exists today. What started as a simple chat app for gamers has slowly become a platform that's asking users for more and more personal information. Back in the good old days, creating an account couldn't have been easier. You picked a username, created a password, and that was pretty much it. There was no phone number verification, no government issued ID, and in many cases, you didn't even have to verify your email address. Getting on the platform was quick, it was simple, and for the most part, you could stay anonymous. But more importantly, you were in control of how much Discord actually knew about you. And that's a really big deal because Discord is one of those free services on the internet, and just like Gmail, YouTube, Facebook, and pretty much every other free platform, they have to make money somehow. There's an old saying in the tech world, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. Now, Discord says it doesn't sell your personal data, but it does collect information about how you use the platform. And like many online services, it uses that information to personalize your experience, improve the platform, and support its advertising business. Every server you join, every click you make, every device you sign in from, every little piece of information helps build a bigger picture of who you are on its own. None of that sounds like much, but when you put it all together, it becomes incredibly valuable because data is one of the most valuable things on the internet today. And the more a company knows about you, the more power it has to understand your habits, predict your behavior, and keep you inside its ecosystem. Now imagine handing that same company your government-issued ID or even your face. As Discord grew, so did the amount of information connected to every account. Now, to be fair, Discord says these changes are designed to improve safety, comply with local laws, and make the platform more secure. But for a lot of people, that's not the real concern. The concern is simple. The more personal information you hand over to any online platform, the more you have to trust that company to store it securely, protect it from hackers, and never misuse it. Because history has shown us that even the biggest tech companies aren't immune to data breaches. And once something as sensitive as your government-issued ID ends up in the wrong hands, there's no way to take it back. And that's exactly what's starting to happen. In some parts of the world, Discord is now asking users to verify their age before they can access certain features or communities, depending on where you live. That could mean uploading a photo of your government-issued ID or completing a facial scan. Discord says these checks are there to comply with local laws and to keep younger users away from age-restricted content. And on paper, that sounds reasonable. Nobody wants children accessing content that isn't meant for them. But here's where things start getting complicated, because every time another platform asks for your ID, another database is created, another company stores your personal information, and another target appears for hackers, data breaches, or anyone else who wants access to it. The internet wasn't built this way. Years ago, you could explore online communities, make friends, and talk to people from all over the world without proving exactly who you were. Today, that kind of anonymity is slowly becoming harder to find, and Discord is just one example of a much bigger trend. And that's exactly why so many people are pushing back against these kinds of systems, not because they're trying to hide something, but because they don't want to live in a world where proving your identity becomes the price of simply using the internet. Think about it. For decades, you could create an online account, pick a username, and start talking to people from all over the world. You didn't need to tell a company your real name. You didn't need to upload your driver's license, and you definitely didn't need to scan your face just to join a chat server. That kind of anonymity was one of the things that made the internet feel different. It gave people the freedom to express themselves without immediately tying everything they said back to their real world identity. Now, that idea is slowly disappearing. Not overnight, not all at once, but one platform at a time, one law at a time, one ID check at a time. And whether you think that's a good thing or a dangerous direction depends on how much you value your privacy. Now, maybe you're thinking, I don't really care if Discord has my ID. I've got nothing to hide. And honestly, a lot of people feel that way. But privacy has never been about hiding something illegal. It's about control. It's about deciding who gets access to your personal information and who doesn't. Because the moment you upload your government ID, you're putting an incredible amount of trust in a company you've probably never even heard of before. You have to trust that they'll store it securely. You have to trust that hackers will never get to it. You have to trust that it won't be kept longer than necessary. And you have to trust that the rules won't change 5 or 10 years from now. That's a lot of trust. For something as simple as using a chat app. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Discord is the only company doing this. Far from it. This is happening all across the internet. More websites, more apps, and more online services are asking for more personal information than ever before. Phone numbers, government IDs, facial scans, even information you never expected to hand over just to use a chat app. And every time this becomes normal, it becomes a little easier for the next company to ask for even more. That's why privacy advocates have been warning about this for years, not because they think every company is evil, but because history has shown us. Once people give up a little privacy, it's very rare that they ever get it back. Technology keeps moving forward. New laws get passed, companies collect more data, and before you know it, the internet you grew up with isn't the internet you have today. And this is where things get even more interesting. Discord doesn't do all of these identity checks by itself. Instead, it works with a company called Persona. Now, you've probably never heard of Persona before, but that's because they work behind the scenes. Their job is simple: verify that you're who you say you are. That means checking government-issued IDs, verifying your age, and in some cases, comparing your face to your ID using facial recognition. Discord says this information is used only to complete the verification process and to comply with local laws. But for a lot of people, that still doesn't answer the biggest question: how many companies should really have access to one of the most important documents you own? Because every company you trust with your identity is another company that has to protect it. And history has shown us that even some of the biggest companies in the world don't always succeed. There's another detail that caught my attention. Persona has received investment from Peter Thiel, the billionaire entrepreneur who co-founded Palantir. Palantir builds powerful data analysis software that's used by governments, militaries, and law enforcement agencies around the world. Now, to be clear, there's no public evidence that Discord user IDs are being shared with Palantir or that Palantir has access to Discord's verification data. But for many people in the privacy community, even that connection is enough to raise eyebrows. Because once identity verification becomes normal, it's much easier for anonymous communication to slowly disappear. So whether you think Discord's new verification system is reasonable or whether you think it goes too far, that's a decision you'll have to make for yourself. But one thing is certain: privacy isn't something you notice when you have it. You only notice it once it's gone. At the end of the day, this video isn't really about Discord. Discord just happens to be the latest example. The real question is, how much of your privacy are you willing to give up for convenience? Because every year, more apps ask for more data, more websites ask for more verification, and slowly, almost without anyone noticing, anonymous communication starts to disappear. Maybe you think that's a fair trade. Maybe you don't. But whatever side you're on, I think everyone can agree on one thing: the less personal information you hand over online, the less there is to lose. So before you upload your next government ID or scan your face, ask yourself one simple question: does this company really need it? Because once your data leaves your hands, you can never truly get it back. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want more videos about privacy, open source software, and technology. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.